Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. I'm Sophie, and in today's video I'm going to be unboxing all of my book subscription boxes for the month of November. So I have some Illumicrate, some FairyLoot and a locked library box. So up first, I'm going to start with the Illumicrate Fantasy monthly box. So this one contains a monthly fantasy pick and also a collection of goodies. So let's see what we've got. So the monthly theme for November is academic rivals. So this is the spoiler card. And then here's what's contained in the box. Packaging. So we have a Demon at the Gates iron-on patch, and this is inspired by A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik, which I haven't read. Then we also have a Most Noble of Academy's laundry bag inspired by Where Sleeping Girls Lie, which I haven't read either. So let's get this out and have a look. Oh, this is very pretty. That is so cute and very useful for laundry. Then we have another one of Illumicrate's jigsaw puzzles. So this is the Illumicrate bookcase. I have a few of these puzzles now, but I haven't done any. So it's probably time to make some of these. But this has past Illumicrate book picks in the image. And it's 1,000 pieces, so I might try and do that over the festive period. And then we have the book of the month. But first I will do the other item, which I've just found in the bottom here. And this is a 2026 calendar. So Illumicrate tend to do calendars at this time of year, and I quite like their calendars. So let's have a quick look at this. And it always has different pictures from different fandoms for each month. So here's an overview of those pictures. But it's always such pretty artwork. So we have the image and then the calendar. So that will come in useful to put in the library. And then the book of the month, let's see. Is A Rather Vengeful Accord by Danielle Knight. Quite an interesting cover. I'm not sure what my thoughts are on this, but we have some beautiful purple sprayed edges. So I love purple edges. Purple's my favorite color, so it's always nice to get some purple sprayed edges, and it's got the lightning kind of effect there with some imagery on that. Then we have some kind of writing systems and runes on the back, and it says insults demand answers. So let's have a look what's under this dust jacket. Oh, this is very pretty. So we have an illustrated hardcover, which is not the same on the back, but very similar. So that is very pretty. I love this color. And then we also have some artwork on the end pages. So there's the other side. I haven't heard of this book, so I have no idea what it's about, but I will read the synopsis. So it says, in Passion, Glory. At the elite college of St. Pendergast, gravers raise the dead and turn corpses into unnatural abominations. Will spirers battle undead horrors in grand arenas, thrilling crowds with divine spectacle. Hale and Kilquire would kill and resurrect anything to study graving at St. Pendergast. But Hal cannot enlist alone. The only way she can secure admission is to enter a dangerous accord with her mortal rival, Alistair Fulton, a handsome, accomplished spirer, and the infuriating exiled scion of the great Fulton dynasty. As Hal and Alistair fight grisly creatures and ghastly peers side by side, Hal faces the horrors of necromancy and the revolting prospect of a romance with her own nemesis. That sounds quite intriguing, and I don't think I've heard of this author before, but it says that this is her debut novel, so I'm looking forward to reading this one. So that's Illumicrate's monthly box, and now I've got a Illumicrate box which isn't a monthly subscription box, but this is a sequel to a book that I previously got in a subscription box from Illumicrate. I haven't actually read this, I should have read it by now, but this is the sequel to The Sun and the Void, and this is The River and the Star, and I absolutely love the customizations on the first book, and this looks just as pretty. So I love this monochrome. So this is by Gabriela Romero La Cruz, and I can't really remember what the first book is about, and I think it will probably spoil it if I read the synopsis. But yeah, it's such pretty customizations and such pretty end pages. Whoops. And then same on the back. And then let's have a look at the hardcover. Yeah, so we have this beautiful foiling on the hardcover, and it's plain on the back. But yeah, they're such pretty editions, and it's gonna look beautiful. But I have to get to read this because I've had it a couple of years now, and I was really intrigued to read it, but I haven't prioritized it. So it's time to probably pick the first one up and then read this straight after. But they are quite massive books, so might take some time. But yeah, this is signed by the author as well. It's some kind of epic fantasy, and at the time I read the synopsis, it sounded amazing. So yeah, I'll have to remind myself what it's about. I've been trying not to buy the sequels if I haven't read the first book, and I meant to read the first book before I got this one, but I love this pretty edition, so I wanted to make sure that I got it, and I'm hoping that I'll enjoy this. So next up, I have one of the quarterly subscriptions from Illumicrate. So last month it was Evernight, and this month it is Starbright. So this is their sci-fi subscription. This one was launched this year, so we've now done a full year. So a full 4 books of the Starbright. And while I haven't read any of them, the picks that I've had look really interesting, and I'm going to try and prioritize them early in 2026. But yeah, this is a sci-fi subscription box. So Illumicrate did include quite a few sci-fi books in their fantasy subscription, but they've done a separate one, which I'm really happy about because I do love a bit of sci-fi. So let's see what we've got here. So I haven't heard of this one. Let's get it out of the plastic wrap. So this one is Slow Gods by Claire North. Do not be afraid, there is still time. That's what it says on the back. And on the sprayed edge, it says, we are the unforgivables. So in terms of customizations, I don't know what the original cover looks like. This one looks quite plain, to be honest, apart from the sprayed edges. There's not really much special about it, I don't think. But let's have a look on the inside. So yeah, we do have some end paper artwork. Oh, we do have a nice cover though. This probably makes up for the dust jacket. But I'll just show you the other end pages. They look very pretty too. And this is kind of a image on the hardcover, which, yeah, I like. I mean, it's still nothing spectacular, but that's quite pretty. And on the back. So yeah, let's see what this one is about. So this is described as an intergalactic tale of conspiracy, war, and the fall of empires. My name is Marokana du Vidnadze. I've probably butchered that pronunciation, I apologize. And I'm a very poor copy of myself. In telling my story, there are certain things I should perhaps lie about. I should make myself a hero, pretend I was not used by strangers and gods did not leave people behind. Here is one truth. Out there in deep space in the pilot's chair, I died, and then I was reborn. I became something not quite human, something that could speak to the infinite dark, and I vowed to become the scourge of the world that wronged me. This is the story of the supernova event that burned planets and felled civilizations. This is also the story of the many lives I've lived since I died for the first time. Are you listening? Discover this thrilling and breathtaking imaginative space opera from the multi-award-winning Claire North, perfect for fans of Anne Leckie, Adrian Tchaikovsky, Ian M. Banks, and Arkady Martin. I haven't read any of those authors, so I don't know what their books are about, but I'm really intrigued by this one. I do like me sci-fi and a space opera, and I'm also quite into speculative fiction, so I think I will probably enjoy this. So now let's do the Lot Library. So this is just their monthly book only subscription. There is also Forbidden Wing subscription, but I don't subscribe to that. I only have this main Lot Library fantasy, I guess. So let's see what we've got. So once again, we have the beautifully wrapped book with a sticker, and I always rip it. I wish I could do it without ripping it. So let's do this beautiful tissue paper, and we have The Wicked Lies of Habram Fair by Anna Fatini. So I think I have seen this about, and this is a different colour for the cover. I think it's normally kind of pink and purple. So whilst I would probably prefer the pink and purple, I think this is quite pretty. It's very autumnal, and there are some really pretty sprayed edges. And we have some pretty character art. And I'll just show you the back. Oh, that's really cute. I love that. And then we also have foiling on the cover, and yeah, that one's quite pretty. And as usual, we have the key on the spine. So I have been a little bit disappointed by Lot Library recently. I don't think I've really been intrigued by any of the books, and I am considering maybe cancelling my subscription, but I want to read a few more and see if I do actually enjoy them before I cancel. But I will read what this is about. So, my only talent is lying. Father says it will serve me well. Ceridwen Parry has run away with the fairies, but this is not her story. For Sabrina Parry, life in 19th century Wales is cruel. With her father in prison, it falls to her to protect her family and marry off her sick sister Ceridwen. Then Ceridwen vanishes into the eerie woods, and Sabrina is drawn into a beautiful but deadly world of fairies and monsters of old. Soon she realises fairyland is far more dangerous than she ever expected. So when an annoyingly handsome fairy offers her a deal, Sabrina is forced to accept to save her sister. But as with all fairy bargains, there is a heavy price, and if Sabrina doesn't pay with her life, she will surely pay with her freedom or her heart. So it does sound interesting, although I have read quite a lot of stories about sisters being separated and fairies involved, and I think I am starting to tire of those stories, but I am intrigued. I will give it a go. And then we are at the FairyLoot boxes. So I have two for you today. I have the FairyLoot Adult and the FairyLoot YA with the goodies. So we'll open up the adult one first. And I do remember which one this is, and it is one of my favourite authors, so I'm really excited about this. So the theme is Fated to Fall, and the book is, yes, the book is Fallen City by Adrienne Young, who I'm really loving her books at the moment. So I think in terms of the cover, I do actually prefer the original cover, but this is still quite pretty. It's quite elegant, and yeah, I still love this. And those sprayed edges are very pretty too. And then we do have some really pretty art here. And I've just spied that naked hardback, and that is beautiful. So the other character art, and then this is very, very pretty. She is gorgeous. And I've just spied as well, we have the original cover. So I do prefer this cover. So all I know about this one is it is inspired by Greek and Roman mythology, which I am a sucker for Greek mythology. So I'm really looking forward to this one. I'm probably going to prioritize this for early 2026. This is a very long synopsis, but I will give it a go. In the great walled city of Izara, political turmoil ignites a rebellion 100 years in the making. But when a legionnaire falls in love with a magistrate's daughter, the love will threaten the fate of the city and the will of the gods. Luca Matthias has one purpose: to carry on the family name, maintaining its presence in the Forum once his powerful and cruel uncle dies. But his novice ship with the city's philosopher places him in the middle of a catastrophe that will alter the destiny of his people. Maris Casperia was raised amidst the strategic manoeuvres of the Citadel's inner workings, and she knows what her future holds: a lifetime of service to a corrupt city. But her years of serving as a novice to the last priestess who possesses the stolen magic of the old war has made her envision a different kind of future for the city. When she meets Luca, a fated chain of events is set into motion that will divinely entangle their lives. As a secret comes to light and throws the city into chaos, Luca and Maris hatch a plot to create a calculated alliance that could tip the scales of power. But when an execution forces Luca to become the symbol of rebellion, he and Maris are thrown onto opposite sides of a holy war. As their fates diverge, they learn that they are at the centre of a story the gods are writing, and even if they can find their way back to each other, there may be nothing left. So I feel that this is quite different from what Adrienne Young has written that I have read. So I'm really interested to see how she brings her style of writing into kind of Greco-Roman mythology. But I am really excited about this, so I can't wait to read it. And then finally we have the monthly YA books with the goodies, and I cannot remember what book is in here, so let's find out. If we can get into it. Here we go. So here's a monthly card, and the theme is Venom and Velvet. So, we have a candle. So the Creature Cafe soy candle. I don't know what this is inspired by, let's have a look. Inspired by The God and the Gumiho by Sophie Kim, which I still haven't read and I need to read that. So let's give this a smell. Oh, that's very cute. Ooh. Smells a little bit like Play-Doh. It's meant to be iced coffee. I'm not really sure about that, but we will give it a light and see what it smells like when it's lit. And then I love these. These are desk mats, and it's inspired by The Crimson Moth. I love The Crimson Moth. It's one of my favourite books. Oh, that is very pretty. I love that. Don't really have a desk that I work at, so I will probably just use it for a random table. And then we have another calendar. So for FairyLoot, they tend to do a little calendar with a wooden block and different cards that you put for each month. And this is inspired by the world of Taheri Mafi. I haven't read any of her books, so I'm not going to know who these characters are, but I love these little cards. They're always very pretty. This year it was characters from Stephanie Garber's Worlds, which I loved. But yeah, I will enjoy this even though I don't know who the characters are. But yeah, I'll just leave that in the plastic until it's time. And then we have the overlays for the book of the month, so we'll look at those in a minute. And the book of the month is Seven Deadly Thorns by Amber Hamilton. So I do know what the original cover looks like, and I'll see if it's under the dust jacket. but I actually prefer this. I like the green, the other one is blue, but it says on the back, "Let there be darkness." Again, I don't know what this is about, but I have seen a lot of people talking about it, but the artwork, that is stunning. Let's have a look at the back. Let's take that off. And on the back, yeah, this is a beautiful edition. And this has a printed naked hardcover, which I'm not sure I'm liking kind of the white. I would have loved a bit more green, but still it is very pretty. And the sprayed edges. So yeah, so this is the original cover, but the original cover has a blue and gold, and this is pretty. I love the green. So yeah, let's read what this is about. I am the darkness, my magic destroys. Viola Sinclair has hidden her shadow magic her whole life. Discovery means certain death. For in the kingdom of Aragoa, dark magic is forbidden. When the queen finds out Viola's secret, she sends the royal assassin to kill her. He is given a cursed tattoo, 7 thorns on his arm for the 7 days he has to complete his deadly task. If he fails, he will be the one to die. The assassin is Ruse Roquelaure, entitled prince, arrogant fellow student at Vanderberg Academy, and Viola's mortal enemy. The chance to strike Viola down is at Rose's fingertips, but he needs something from Viola, and he's willing to spare her life and fake their engagement to get it. Forced to work together, Viola and Rose uncover terrible secrets, sinister threats, and an irresistible attraction. Can they learn to trust each other in time to save themselves and bring the light back to Aragoa? A devastating enemies to lovers romantasy. That does sound really interesting. It sounds like the kind of book that I will enjoy. It is giving me a bit of Crimson Moth vibes, I think. So yeah, I am excited to read that one. And then we also have the monthly bookmark. And I forgot to show you the tarot cards. So these are Justice and Wheel of Fortune. So they are inspired by the book of the month. And let's just look at the page overlays. So let's have a look at these. Oh, it's a guy playing a piano. So yeah, I'm not sure how well you'll be able to see these, but guy playing the piano. I love this character already. Yeah, I think I am falling in love with this book already, and I haven't even started it. So love it. I love this artwork. So these just go at different points in the book, and the spoiler card will tell me where they go. So I will read them with these page overlays in. So it's something that FairyLoot have done recently, and I think they've replaced another item now. I was a bit concerned about that, but I think I do quite like the page overlays. They bring another dimension to when you're reading the book, and the artwork is beautiful. And yeah, I think it makes the characters come to life. So I'm quite happy that they're doing these. So let's have a look at all of the books. This is going to be a pretty stack. So here is our stack, and here is our beautiful sprayed edges. They're not really that bright, they're quite dark colours, so, well, apart from the white, but yeah, very pretty. So I think out of these books, I am probably most excited to read Fallen City by Adrian Young. So that will be one of my priorities. And in terms of customizations, I think this one, hands down, is a winner. This is just beautiful. And I'm also really excited to read this one. And then in terms of items, I think it's probably the Crimson Moth desk mat. and also the Illumicrate bookcase puzzle. So that is the end of the November unboxing. If you want to see what books I hauled in November that weren't part of subscription boxes, then I will leave a link to that video here so you can check that out. Please do let me know in the comments which was your favourite book and also what your favourite item was, and also if you are excited to read any of these books. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of my content, and please do give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks, bye.